even though you can see the Venturi, it's not in the airflow. So when I start this up, the box is 6 feet away, so the blower is 6 feet from the centre. I don't think it will even spin it round. Maybe I have to start it. Okay, so we had 4. Just about managing to turn, but in this test the blower is 5 feet away. No. In this test the blower is 4 feet away and the Venturi is not fitted. Starting up. $55, $58, $60, $61, $66, $32, $33, $35. I'll call that 74, I think. No, it's gone up a bit more, 81. In this test there's no Venturi fitted and the blower is 3 feet away. Getting up 87, 91. If it goes over 100, it will lose the display. There we go. So that was just 100. 103. I'll call that one 102 for argument's sake. Okay, for this test we've got the Venturi fitted and the blower over there by my dog is 6 feet from the centre of the axis. So switch on. He's just checking to make sure I've done it properly. 55, 58, 59, 63. See the Venturi is flapping around a lot here. Settling down at 62-ish. This test as the blower 5 feet away. I'll just show you that mark there. And we switch on. $85, $87, still going up. Seems to be settled at 87, 89. Oh, I'll call that 88. This test is done with the blower 4 feet away from the centre of the turbine axis and the Venturi fitted. I wonder if we'll get over 90 now. 87, 93. The speedo goes wrong. There you go, it's gone wrong. It's Chinese rubbish. Whenever it goes over 100, it goes back to 6. If I switch this off, let it slow down a bit, 95, so turn it on again. Well, we can say it's above 100. Maybe that means 103. So this test is with the blower 3 feet away, Venturi fitted. I think what's happening with the speedo is that when it goes over 100, it runs out of decimals. So that would be 109, 112, 116, 120, 123. Should we call this 120? It's not going up anymore. In those tests, the outlet hole of this Venturi is 1 1/4, which is quite a lot narrower than the width of the turbine, which is 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut the end off here and see if it goes faster. For this test, I've cut the end of the Venturi off, so now the diameter is 1.750 inches, which is 1 3/4, and I've placed it tight against the turbine as before. The blower is in position 6 feet away, and you can ask yourself if it's going to go faster or slower than when the Venturi throat diameter was 1 1/4. Now the speedo, 44, 56, I've figured out exactly what happens. So when it goes over 100, so that's 103, 106, 9, 16, 119, 123, looks to be as high as it's going to get. I'll call that 120, shall we? Okay, in this one we've got the large diameter Venturi at the end, and this is now 5 feet away. Starting up. 37, 57, 72, 90, 112, 123, 127. It's going to explode. 147, 153. You can actually hear a humming noise now. 147 and 153, 159. What should we call that? Let's call it 157. In this test, we've got the blower 4 feet away with the large diameter Venturi. So we've got 59, 83, 109, 127, 136, 166, 174, 182. Just wondering what will happen if this goes over 200. It may not work at all. So this looks to be settled at 180, let's say 180. Okay, now the blower is positioned 3 feet away. 42, 78, 106, 127, 159, 174, 182, 191, settled at 191. I hope you can see that. just gone over 200. I'll just slow it down so you can see it going down. 150, 140, 16. Now it goes back to 98, 89, 81. I think that was 200, so I'm going to start it up again just to check. 56, 93, 116, 136, 166, 174, 182, 191. If that goes below to a small number again, that's 200. There we go. 201 just hit. Again. It's time for me to buy a laser rev counter. They're very cheap actually. Slowing down. So this conclusively proves a Venturi increases the speed of wind and focuses it. Now I'm going to try increasing the diameter of this opening a bit more and see what happens. The diameter has now been increased to 2 inches and the box is 6 feet away. In the interest of safety, I've wrapped a little piece of wire around the blades to stop them kind of exploding into the room, because I'm expecting this to be faster. Let's see. So 4, 15, 23, 31, 50, 55, 60, 70, 81, 87, 89, 90, 93, interestingly, last time this went up to 120, so this is slower, so we'll call that 95. Bear in mind it's slower at this speed. It doesn't at this distance, 6 foot away. It might be faster when we get more wind. Tuning is funny. Let's see. Now the blower is in position 5, which is 5 feet away. My dog is very interested, as am I. Strange, that one needed to start 50, 68, 83, 98, 112, 123, 141, 150, 160, 166, 174, 174 and 66, so let's call that 170. Now the box is set up 4 feet away with the blower. Interesting result, that one, because that was faster and the previous one was slower. So the large nozzle fares better with a high wind and a smaller nozzle fares better with a low wind. So let's see what happens here. 20, 40, 60, 90, 112, 140, 150, 170, 180, 190. It's got to go over 200 surely. Stuck at 1, there we go, 201, 190. So what should we call that? I'll call it 195. I'm just going to let that slow down and speed up again. I'll do this again because the speedo's stuck there. So it's gone back below 80, 70. shaking and rattling. So previously that test was 180 with the smaller nozzle. So I'll start it again. 25, 38, 64, 87, 106, 123, 140, 150, 160, 174, 182. Notice acceleration is much faster to get there. Up to 191, and it seems to be stuck there. I'll call that 191 then. In this test, the blower is positioned 3 feet away from the turbine. I'm expecting this to go over 200. 72, 123, 140, 166, 174, 182, 191, 101. Sorry, 201 that is. So the speedo can't keep up with it now. So that's good. That means it's faster than it was before. Just going to have to guess the speed. I've put the results into an Excel sheet with a little chart, and you can see clearly now how things are going. So the green line here is when there was no Venturi, and the highest speed we got was 102 for the turbine, and when the Venturi with diameter was increased to 1.75 and 2, we got these two plots, which are way above the wind without a Venturi. This is interesting where the crossover happens, and it seems to indicate that if you've got a kind of low wind, then a small hole in the end of the Venturi will give a greater turbine speed than a big hole. But if the wind speeds are high, then a bigger hole will make the turbine go faster. The last two results I believe to be much higher, because I could hear a definite hum coming from the turbine, and the speedo couldn't keep up, so I expect these might be getting up for 240 and 300 perhaps. Not sure, maybe a bit less, but definitely above 201. So I'd like to say thanks to Ed Seykota for encouraging me to test my hypothesis, which I've done here in this very rough trial with a very rough Venturi and a very inefficient turbine and an inefficient speedo as well. But the whole thing seems to indicate that a Venturi does increase the speed a lot, and I'll be doing some more tests, so stay tuned for part 3. Thanks for watching.